Welcome to today's episode of our Political Deep Dive podcast. The big question today I'm going to discuss about is, are the efforts of the India bloc enough to defeat the NDA in the upcoming Bihar election? Now, this is in spite of all what Rahul and Tejashwi have been doing it in Bihar, yet the question still remains, is that really enough? Now, why does Bihar matter? Because Bihar is not just one more state. Bihar has always been at the heart of India's political churn. It is the land where caste arithmetic meets coalition politics, where one election often sets the tone for the national strategies. So let us quickly rewind. For decades, Bihar politics has swung between the RJD, led by Lalu Prasad Yadav's family, and the Janata Dal United, led by Nitish Kumar. The BJP, once a smaller ally, has slowly built itself into a formidable force. Meanwhile, the Congress has shrunk to a supporting player, though it still holds influence in select pockets. Now, over the years, Nitish Kumar has played the role of a kingmaker, sometimes with the BJP, sometimes against it, but in this election, the stakes are different. Nitish has returned to the NDA fold, giving BJP a major boost. Meanwhile, the opposition under the banner of India Bloc, made up of RJD, Congress, and the left parties, is trying to prove that they can still challenge this alliance of convenience. On the ground, the issues shaping voter mood are sharp and varied. Unemployment continues to push young Biharis to migrate outside the state. Prices are pinching households. The lack of industrial investment remains a sore point. Add to that the controversy over the Special Intensive Revision or SIR of electoral rolls. Opposition parties allege this exercise could strike off names unfairly, reducing participation among minorities and migrant workers. At the same time, Rahul Gandhi's padyatra through Bihar has added momentum to India's bloc campaign. For the Congress, it's more than just a march. It's an attempt to regain lost ground and show visible leadership on the streets of Bihar. And let's not forget women voters who have historically leaned toward Nitish Kumar thanks to prohibition and welfare schemes, or the Simachal belt, Muslim dominated districts like Kishanganj, Purnia, and Araria, which has become a battlefield in itself, with both India and the NDA bloc investing heavily there. So, as Bihar prepares for another intense election, the big question remains, does the India bloc have the strength, unity, and strategy to break through India's current dominance? Or will the NDA's combination of BJP's muscle and Nitish Kumar's residual credibility prove too strong? That's what we'll unpack in this episode. And to do that, we'll break the story into four more parts: NDA's strengths, India bloc strategies and challenges, the swing factor that can tilt the outcome, and finally, what's really at stake for both sides, not just in Bihar, but nationally. So now let's look at the NDA, the National Democratic Alliance. What makes them frontrunners in this election? First, the numbers. Opinion polls conducted over the past few weeks have shown that the NDA is consistently ahead of the India bloc. In fact, some surveys project the NDA crossing 130 out of 243 seats, comfortably above the majority mark of 122. Within the alliance, the BJP is expected to make significant gains, while Nitish Kumar's JDU may shrink but still deliver enough seats to keep the coalition on top. But it isn't just about the numbers, it's about the machinery too. The BJP today has the most disciplined and resource rich ground organization in Bihar, from booth level committees to digital campaigning. Their network is unmatched. Add to this the star power of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who remain NDA's most powerful campaigner. His rallies draw crowds, his messaging is sharp, and for many voters, a vote for BJP in Bihar is also a vote of confidence in Modi's leadership at the national level. Nitish Kumar, though no longer the towering figure he once was, still has some credibility among certain voter groups, especially the extremely backward classes or the EBCs and women voters. His track record on welfare schemes like bicycle distribution for schoolgirls or reservations for women in local bodies continues to resonate. The prohibition policy, despite controversies, has also plays into his image as a leader who at least tried to change the social realities. Another strength of the NDA is their ability to control the political narrative. They know how to shift the conversation away from caste arithmetic and back towards themes like Vikas, development, stability, and governance. Even when unemployment and migration are pressing issues in Bihar, the NDA leaders pitch themselves as the more safer, more stable choice compared to what they describe as the India Bloc's experiment in chaos. And then their strategy. The NDA has been investing heavily in regions where it was once weak. Take Himachal belt for example, a Muslim majority region traditionally dominated by the RJD and the Congress. The BJP has consciously chosen to contest more seats here to send a message. No area is off limits. Even if they don't sweep Seemanchal, making small gains here denies the India bloc easy victories. And finally, let's talk about alliances. With Nitish Kumar back in the NDA camp, the BJP has solved what could have been a big problem: fragmentation of anti RJD votes. For many middle class and urban voters, the Nitish BJP combo still represents balance. Nitish's governance image with BJP's national clout. That combination may not inspire passion, but it delivers stability, and stability often wins elections. So if you add it all up, a strong pole position, Modi's charisma, BJP's organizational muscle, Nitish Kumar's pockets of credibility, and a carefully crafted narrative, it's clear why the NDA walks into the election with a definite edge. Now let's turn to the India bloc, the coalition of RJD, Congress, and the left parties. On paper, they represent a powerful idea uniting opposition forces to stop the BJP. But in Bihar, the question is, can they translate that idea into actual seats? Let's start with their strengths. The RJD, led by Tejashwi Yadav, still commands a loyal base, the Yadav Muslim combined. This bloc alone accounts for a significant share of the state's electorate, and in the past election, it has given RJD a strong starting point. Add to this the Congress, which, despite shrinking over the years, continues to hold pockets of influence, especially in urban and semi urban constituencies. The left parties, too, bring disciplined cadres in select districts, particularly in central Bihar. Together, this India bloc does have the arithmetic to challenge the NDA. They have also tried to sharpen their messaging. You hear them talk about unemployment, which is arguably the single biggest issue in Bihar. You hear them talking about migration, how lakhs of young men leave the state every year for jobs in Delhi, Mumbai, or even outside India. They are also targeting price rise and accusing the NDA of mismanaging Bihar's development. Then there's the symbolic element, Rahul Gandhi's padyatra through Bihar. This march is about more than just optics. It's an attempt to put the Congress back into the conversation and project a national face for the India bloc. It creates visual momentum and brings media attention that regional parties often struggle to get. But let's be honest, the India bloc is facing an uphill climb. Their first problem is unity or the lack of it. Seat sharing talks have already exposed cracks, especially between the RJD and the Congress. Both want to project themselves as central players, but without compromise. They risk undercutting their own chances. The second problem is leadership. Who is the chief ministerial face? For the NDA, Nitish Kumar is still a recognizable figure, however diminished. For India, Tejashwi Yadav is young, energetic, and seen by some as a natural claimant. But does he have the acceptability beyond the RJD's traditional base? That remains an open question. Third, resources and organization. The BJP's election machine is unmatched from data analytics to booth level presence. The India bloc, on the other hand, often struggles with coordination. While RJD rallies can draw large crowds, converting that energy into disciplined voting is a different challenge altogether. And finally, there's the problem of credibility. Many voters, especially the younger generation, remember Bihar under Lalu Prasad Yadav's RJD as an era of poor governance. Tejashwi is trying to project himself as a fresh alternative, but the NDA never misses a chance to remind people of what they call the Jungle Raj years. So, in short, the India bloc has the energy, it has issues to campaign on, and it has some loyal vote banks. But without airtight unity, a clear leadership pitch, and a better organized ground game, it risks falling short in the numbers it needs. Now comes the most unpredictable part of this election, the swing factors. These are small details that can flip dozens of seats and in turn decide who forms the next government in Bihar. First, let's talk about the swing seats themselves. In the last assembly election in 2020, more than 40 constituencies were decided by margin of less than 3,000 votes. Imagine that. Just a few thousand ballots making the difference. In Hilsa, for example, the victory margin was a mere 12 votes. That's how razor thin the contest can get. Even so, if opinion polls gives the NDA an edge, these close contests remain the India bloc's biggest hope. Second, the women voters. This group has been Nitish Kumar's secret weapon for years. His schemes from free cycles for schoolgirls to reservations in panchayats have won him steady female support. But the India bloc knows this and is making a stronger appeal this time, linking women's empowerment with employment and social justice. If women voters shift even slightly away from Nitish, the impact could be dramatic. Third, the Simachal belt. This region covering Kishanganj, Purnia, Araria, and Katehar is a Muslim dominated and traditionally supported the India bloc. NDA, even small gains here are huge because each seat won in Simanchal is effectively one taken away from the opposition's stronghold. Fourth, the role of the third player, AIMIM, led by Asauddin Owaisi, already has a presence in Simachal. Even if AIMIM doesn't win many seats, it can split the opposition's vote and indirectly benefit the NDA. Then there is Prashant Kishore and his Jan Suraj movement. While he may not emerge as a major seat winner, his campaign can eat into RJD's traditional base in some constituencies, again making life harder for the India bloc. Smaller outfits like the BSP also nibble away at vote banks. And finally, let's not forget the SIR issue, the special intensive revision of electoral rolls. If significant numbers of voters feel disenfranchised, it could spark anger and even affect turnout. In swing constituencies, just a few thousand missing votes could flip the outcome. The India bloc is making this a central talking point, hoping to rally those who feel sidelined. So, when we put it all together, the narrow margin, the power of women voters, the high stakes of Simachal region, the spoilers like AIMIN and Jan Suraj, and the controversy over electoral roll, it's clear that this election could be decided not just by grand alliances but by tiny shifts in local dynamics. So, what's really at stake in Bihar election of 2025? For the NDA, a clear victory would do more than just keep them in power in Patna. It would reaffirm the BJP's dominance in the Hindi heartland and show that their alliance with Nitish Kumar still delivers results even if his personal popularity has dipped. It would also strengthen Prime Minister Modi's hand as the country moves closer to the 2029 Lok Sabha election. Bihar, after all, sends 40 MPs to the parliament. Holding the state firmly in their camp is a strategic prize. For the India bloc, the stakes may be even higher. A strong showing in Bihar would not just be about numbers in one state, it would be about a narrative. It would prove that a united opposition can chip away at the BJP's fortress even in regions where the NDA looks unbeatable. For Tejashwi Yadav, it would cement his role as the face of Bihar's future opposition leadership. For Congress, it would inject life into a party desperate to stay relevant. But if the India bloc falters badly, the opposite message will be sent that unity on paper doesn't always translate to votes on the ground, that caste equations and padyatras are not enough against the BJP's organizational strength, and that the road to 2029 for the opposition may be even tougher than it looks today. At the heart of this election lies a simple but powerful question. Are the efforts of India bloc enough to defeat the NDA? On paper, the odds look tilted towards the NDA, but in politics, and especially in Bihar politics, margins are thin, surprises are plenty, and history has taught us never to rule anything out. As the campaign heats up, one thing is clear: Bihar will once again punch above its weight in shaping India's political story. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you found this analysis useful, don't forget to share it with your friends and join me again as we continue to track the stories behind the numbers. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious.